Go to Netflix and Friends and let's talk about A Beautiful Life. Sharon.
Yeah, A Beautiful Life is a Danish film, but it's sort of split between Danish and English, and it is about a young fisherman who, to help a mate out one night, helps him, who has aspirations to be a singer. He goes along to a bar and he plays the guitar for him while this guy sings. Um, Something happens and the guy either stops singing for some reason, and so he takes over and he sings a song instead. And the guy who was originally there was supposed to like really impress this talent spotter, this woman who's a producer, and she was married to like the most famous singer in the world. And so she occasionally she'll take on someone to sort of produce, but she hasn't produced anyone since her husband sort of died tragically. And so she's in this bar, and this guy starts singing, and they're not impressed at all. But Elliot, is his name, he gets up to sing, and they suddenly start to listen. They go, "Wow, actually, there's something different about this guy." And so they approach him and say, "Look, we'd actually be interested in working with you if you want to work with us. We think that you have a talent there." And he's as the story develops, we found out his backstory, that he was orphaned as a young boy. He was in and out of places, but he actually lives on a boat, and he's a fisherman, and but he is passionate about music. He writes, he sings, he
Could I
plays.
just ask? Could I just ask? Do they have one of those scenes where everybody stops what they're doing and then just sort of like starts looking up, like almost in slow motion as he
Yeah,
starts
they have
singing?
that moment in the bar where it's like, wow, this guy can really sing. Because when the other guy starts singing, they listen for about a second, then they start chatting with each other. Then when
That,
he sings, they like, oh, we've got to listen to this.
so,
It was
just one more thing. Is this based on a true story or is it like?
No, it's just fictional.
All right, cool, good.
It it reminded me a little bit of A Star Is Born,
Hmm.
but it wasn't about one star in the ascendant and then the other one um, descending. It was more about how the star who was the superstar is dead, so you're in his shadow. The principal sort of female characters in this film are the wife of this dead singer and the daughter of this dead singer, and he has cast this shadow over all their lives. And so when this guy comes in and his star starts to rise, you see that sort of like these two lines crossing. So it reminded me a little bit of A Star Is Born, in how that you have that conflict between what the industry wants and then being true to yourself, being true to your gift and your music, and blah blah blah. And there's moments of like tension in it. But as with all these films, you have the whole standout song. There's a first song where everyone notices there's like a standout moment.
Yep.
Then they're like, we're going to make the album. And then there's a moment of crisis. It's like, no, are we actually going to finish the album? And then there's like, actually, if you have a big gig coming up, you need to be at the big gig. And then there's a moment like, will it be at the big gig or not? Will it go very well? So there are tropes throughout this film. But
Yes.
saying that, what they did well.
Yep.
Because, when you're going to make a biopic, a film biopic, a fictional biopic of in the music genre, you're going to get either A Star Is Born or For a Long Day's Night. It's going to be there are certain
Yes.
there are certain sort of things it
The-
automatically fall into.
yes.
You can't help but compare them. But I
It's kind
think
of like when you have like a real life biopic. There's an inevitable descent into drugs. That always happens.
yes, or there's a thing where that moment where you think you could really blow it, or he's like, no, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave the all behind me, and you're thinking, no, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, and there's a gig. Is he going to turn up at the gig? Yes, he's going to turn up at the gig.
Yeah. I'm getting sort of like yesterday vibes.
A little bit of yesterday vibes. Yeah, it sort of falls into that trope. But actually, I really liked it. I thought the
Okay.
guy who played the principal singer had charisma. He is a well-known singer in Denmark. His name is Christopher, and he's just in the credits. It's just like Christopher, and that's it. So obviously he is well known in
Yes.
Denmark, and in this film he's just Elliot. That's his. That's just Elliot. Elliot Windsor, I think his name is. But no, he's had a good voice. He sung well. He had good presence. The secondary storyline, there's like a romance in it. Then there's like a conflict in that romance. There's like
Oh,
that. There's a conflict with his best friend, whether he is a good influence or not.
you
Again,
don't say.
we see these tropes, like when you want to be a successful singer, Do you have to leave your past behind, your friends behind? Or
Yeah.
can you maintain that integrity? So it's nothing we haven't seen before, but what it did well, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Oh, good
So,
stuff. Good.
unlike some of these films where the music is almost entirely forgettable, I couldn't hum any of them, but some of the lyrics I remember thinking, actually, you did express that really well.
Mm.
And it's a sort of acoustic music that I like, so that
A bit more
helps.
folky.
A bit more folky,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I actually liked it. I think it's well worth an evening's viewing. It's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing would sort of takes it up a level, but it was certainly entertaining, and I
Oh,
enjoyed it. And all the characters, I thought, played their parts well. Even the bad guys you want to hiss at, and the good guys you want to cheer. So it worked as far as I was concerned.
good stuff. So, how many stars would you give it?
I think it has to be a 3. I mean, for enjoyment, it was a 4 because I actually did enjoy it. And for me, if I enjoyed something, I don't pause it to read or to go and do something else halfway through because I'm thinking, actually, I need a break from this now. But no, I actually sat and watched all of it all the way through.
Cool. So, A Beautiful Life
Yeah.
on Netflix. I won't get you to try and pronounce the Danish title.
So,
because I have to admit, like there's a lot of these languages, sort of like especially the Scandinavian languages, where I'm not entirely sure how they pronounce letters. Like they might have a similar letter to a
yes.
letter in English, but the pronunciation is quite different. So
Yeah. So
so
something will
so
look exactly the same. Like with names like Karen, you think it's going to be Karen. It doesn't sound like Karen at all when they say it.
yeah,
And we think of it like a Bjorn Borg, sorry,
yeah,
the tennis
Borg, yeah,
player.
yeah,
They sort of say it like Björn Berg,
yeah,
and so you think it's Björn and Berg. So
yeah.
does O sound like an E?
It's different. It's different. You have to
Those
put your
vowel
mind to
sounds
a
are
different
quite
place to
different.
actually, to pronounce them properly.
Yeah.
But okay, that's A Beautiful Life on Netflix. That is good. And now we go